And you know what they say? The early bird catches the worm. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. I'm going to do the Maldon Wyrm. It's a route that's created by the same guy that created the Essex serpent. Most of the tracks and trails, the roads, I wouldn't have ridden before, but I'm going to ride them. It's another journey of discovery, and I've got 9 waypoints to find today of medieval and ancient history, so I'm looking forward to this one. I'm going to certainly have the weather for it. It's a bit overcast at the minute, but it's nice temperature to start the day. Before I forget, there might be some segments that need to be walked on here, but we'll find them as we come across them and respect whatever signs. It's lovely this time of year. Golden fields just been cut, green trees. Gotta make the most of it. Sky rat. So we're making our way to a more built up area now. And we're going to be looking for Waypoint 1, which is a Bronze Age enclosure. So we'll talk about it more when we get there.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
At this point I was approaching Waypoint 1, which is situated between a residential area and an industrial estate. This part is accessed by foot and can be tricky due to overgrown vegetation, but if you can make it all the way through, you'll find the Springfield Lions Bronze Age enclosure. A multi-phase site, its early beginnings is thought to date back 3,000 years. The site is believed to be built on top of an Anglo-Saxon settlement and cemetery. I'm going to carry on. The next sort of waypoint is probably about another hour away, so it's quite a big gap between this waypoint and the next waypoint. Very quiet. I like it. Lots of people out doing sporty activities, whether it's paddleboarding, running, walking, Making the most of this beautiful morning. Baby. Little hill. All quiet though. Very, very quiet. I've just been down a hill, and you guessed it, you can't go down without going back up. It's a nice track though. I've come to a bit that says footpath only, so I'm gonna walk along here, see what comes up, because I can't find any alternate bit on the map. So let's have a look. I've seen a few dog walkers down here. Looking at the map, you could avoid this section and avoid the walking. You could ride on the metal roads. You're not going to miss anything. But it's a nice opportunity to go for a little walk through the woods. I would say it'd be quiet, but my free hub will say otherwise. So this isn't no wood anymore. The sign I've just passed was the end of the no cycling bit. There's quite a few thorns along here. I don't want to waste any time trying to plug any more flats, so just gonna walk this little bit. We've got a bridle way here, but it's like all fenced off, so I'll just have to jump over it and carry on. And the exit does have a gate. Just come through the woods, bit of high ground on here. There's a sparrowhawk within the woods just in here. It's chasing something. I can hear it squealing. Yeah, some water over there. Definitely been more off-road thus far. And tracks, canal way. There's a sign to say there's a nature reserve to the right. I haven't seen any people on this track this far. A lot of momentum coming out there, and I needed to go up here. I spoke too soon about people. There's been quite a few dog walkers along here, so every single one of them I pulled over, I let them come past me. I think it's only right. And back on the track again. Go gadget legs in this little ram. So I'm just pulling into Purley now, a loop. That brings us back round here. That's where I put the extra miles on, because I want to achieve some stuff. So I think we'll start with this little track down here first, and then we'll see where we are from there. It's a nice descent coming down that track, but looking at my GPS, I think I've got to ride back up it, so I think in front of us we'll have waypoints 2 and waypoints 3 very close together, and I'll talk a bit about them when I get a bit closer. Just looking for the track. I do think it's up here and on the back. I can see a signpost in front of me. Got a little bit lost through that farm because it wasn't clear where the track was, so I'll walk round. No damage done. So this is St Mary's Church, which is waypoint 2. Hall and church here stood within the moated enclosure originally. It's had influence throughout the ages, so you can see that in the design of it. It's hardly been touched since the Georgian period. The church was derelict by the 1970s, and it was a target for vandals. Friends of the Friendless Churches acquired the site in 1975, and it's just recently had some reconstruction work done on it, on structural work. And also it's been underpinned because the ground was moving. So this last bit I'm walking down here because there's farm traffic about, and it's designed to say please don't ride your bike, so just respecting the rules. Waypoint 3 is just beyond St Mary's Church and where we find the Maldon Oaks. These are also known as the petrified oaks. These trees died several centuries ago, likely due to saltwater incursion, but it seems the salt water may have also preserved the trunks. These oaks are believed to be aged at around 900 years old. It is thought they were planted in 1100 AD and were almost used for warships in the modern shipbuilding industry, but the wood was found to be too warped. Right, heading back towards the church, back on the track I've just been on, and then I believe it's Purley. Everyone look for a mound. Wind's picking up a bit. Just about to join the road I was on before going to the church. There's a few loops in here that sort of go around each other. told you I ended up going back up it. This last little bit towards Waypoint 4, which is the mound. Just walking this last little bit, not far. So we're at the high point now, and I believe the trees to my right, just in here, is what we're looking for. Be a very strategic position. So behind me we've got Purley Mountain Castle Motte. A mounted moat in a timber castle would have stood here. There's no access to it, and as you can see it's fenced off. And it's very well overgrown, and there's no notices to identify it. And next I've got the Battle of Maldon to go and find. So it shouldn't be too far. However, I'm hungry and I brought some food with me. So I'll get a bite to eat first. Doing an extra loop. So the original route had these roads on here, and then obviously when I modified it I didn't want to lose out, so next time I do an extra loop I'll make sure it's not a hill and a headwind. It's all good fun. Armour wood, Whitbuck wood, Scots wood. Back up early now. Well, the first people I met here, when you say good afternoon to them, they just ignore you. So hopefully it's not the shape of things to come around here. Let's keep riding. Quite a fair bit of cycle lanes just through there. North the island. This is our next little bit. So I think the tide's going to be high tide, or it was about an hour ago, so don't think we can get to the North the island. There's still be some things for us to look at. Sort of knew I had to walk along here. You hope not, but if they're the rules, they're the rules. Waypoint 5 is known as the Battle of Maldon. North the island over there. So it's the site of the Battle of Maldon, where the Anglo-Saxons and the Vikings battled in 991 AD. It's believed it was fought on the mainland, basically opposite North the island, so where we are here, and that's the Blackwater estuary over there. So that's us. So the only downside to it is I had to walk in here. I did watch some other people cycling, but I don't want to upset anybody. So waypoint 6. This is a statue that honours the bravery and courage of Berthnoth, an Anglo-Saxon ealdorman appointed by the king, responsible for law, order and justice in Essex. He led his army against the Vikings, also known as the Danes, in the Battle of Maldon. His name is composed of the Old English words meaning bright courage. He faces the battle site at North the Island and the causeway, raising his sword and bearing his shield ready to defend Maldon. It's during this battle he lost his life. Maldon is an ancient royal charter town with its centre situated on a hill. So as you'd expect, there were some inclines to find before the next waypoint, as I had to get to the high ground. Waypoint 7 is the Maldon Wyrm, also known as a fort. It's situated to the northwest of what was a Saxon fortification just off Dyke's Chase. It's highlighted in the Maldon Wyrm puzzle as Piece 9. This area was a strategic position constructed in 916, which was used to defend from the Danes. From here, we can see the River Chalmer and the River Blackwater. In the legs. Everyone likes a bit of nettles. It was around this point I had missed waypoint 8, which is St. Peter's Church. This church originates back to the 11th century and is mentioned in the Domesday Book. This was redundant for some time and is another success of Friends of Friendless Churches. Since 1994 it has been used as a studio for a stained glass artist. Waypoint 9 is the final waypoint of this journey, and where we find All Saints Church, situated in a remote location next to the River Chalmer. The church and the site originates from 1150, and the church had major restoration in the 1870s. Here I'm close to the A12 overpass by Hatfield Peril where I started. All of my audio from when I changed my battery in Maldon had been lost, so I had to work hard to finish this one. So if you can read my lips on the segment, let me know what I said in the comments. As to the route, the roads, the tracks and the trails, they were mainly quiet. Although it wasn't a long distance ride, it was quite time consuming, particularly when you're adding the footpaths and walking. The Wyrm is a great route if you want to chill day out riding as well as learning about some history. You've been watching the Maldon Wyrm, and if you made it this far, then thank you. And if you've not done so already, then please give this video a like and consider subscribing, because each click allows me to reach a wider audience.